for the first time in a while, welcome to GWE's Stupendous Saturday. After a stupendous SmackDown season premiere, I was about to say on Fox. It wasn't on Fox in America, it was on USA. So SmackDown has moved to USA Network, which is the same network that has Raw and NXT in America, away from Fox after I think they said 5 years. So this was pushed to be a big show, and in my opinion it definitely did deliver and it did not disappoint. We also had a new logo with a new song by Megan Thee Stallion as the intro song, which I saw a little bit look online and a bit of discourse and people not happy with it, wanting a rock song. I mean, there's room for all genres of music in wrestling. But I think, yeah, a good intro, good new song. You knew it was going to be a bit of a big show when Triple H welcomes you to a show at the beginning. But yeah, good show, and I thought a really, really good start with the steel cage match for the WWE Universal Championship between Solo Sikoa going up against the champion Cody Rhodes. This is probably Solo Sikoa's best match of his career, that, you know, at least that I've seen, and definitely in terms of the big leagues, in terms of big matches, I can't think of him having a better match than this. Maybe if you count the tag team match, Money in the Bank main event, him and Roman against the Usos last year as a tag team match, but definitely in terms of a solo match for Solo, this was, in my opinion, his best match. A really good opening, and there was no commercials during the first sort of 35-40 minutes, so we got a proper match between Cody and Solo. I think they did really well. They beat the crap out of each other. Highlight of the match for me was Cody's flying cross body lock off the top of the cage straight into a pin. It did remind me, you forget with all of this chat about who's the best, who's the greatest, who's number one, who's coming back, and Cody Rhodes is just a very, very good wrestler, and again, someone you feel could have a good match with most people. So I think he definitely elevated Solo to his best solo match of his career. Eventually, so Solo, they hit each other with everything, kicked out of one, crossroads, and he didn't actually get the Samoan spike in once, so that was protected. And finally ended with a second crossroads, gets the pin. And then I thought well, it was a highlight of the night, but it was excellent. The next bit, we have the rest of the bloodline climbing the cage like rabid animals. I actually went to Berlin Zoo a couple of weeks ago, and it did just reminded me of the behaviour of some of the animals in that zoo, which is, by the way, the best zoo I've been. I don't even like zoos, and that was the best zoo I've ever been to. Yeah, really good. So Jacob Fatu, Tamatonga Tangaloa, both all climbing around the cage for the beatdown on Cody getting the crap kicked out of him, and then the return that I hoped for, many people hoped for, many people predicted, especially being the season premiere, and he was on some of the pictures for it, the OTC, the original Tribal Chief, or is it the only Tribal Chief? Music hits, a particularly cool moment when the music hits with Jacob Fatu standing on top of the cage, about to deliver some kind of whisper in the wind moonsault or something on top of Cody. Roman comes in, obviously comes in at 1 mile an hour because he's Roman Reigns. Excellent bit where he closes the door of the cage with everyone in it. Fight ensues. Then you get the stare down between Roman and Jacob Fatu, which is it's coming, isn't it? It's definitely coming. It was there for the future anyway. They've set up. There's another big match that they've set up there. Yeah, a really good opening segment. Ended with Solo pulling out Jacob Fatu, the other Tongaloa Tamatonga, being Cody and Roman. Then Cody saving Roman, and then Roman looking at the Ulafala on the outside and the WWE title around Cody's waist or in his hand or whatever it was. So the two things that since WrestleMania 40 Roman Reigns has lost, the family's Ulafala and the WWE title. After excellent opening 35-40 minutes commercial free, whatever it was, And if they were getting any new eyes on it, I don't know. I feel like USA, I don't know enough about it. USA Network gets less eyes than Fox. I assume they'll get less. Fox is a bigger network. I assume they'll get less eyes on it. Obviously, for us in the UK, that all changes in January, where everything comes on to Netflix. So that will be interesting. And I thought over the rest of the show, before we go and talk to the final segment, was good. We had the KO and Ricky, which was hilarious. I thought the hairy back Ricky coming in, getting massive pop from the crowd, then getting a stunner. Randy came in. And the funniest parts of this match was actually before the match, when Randy Orton was doing his entrance and he was up on the top rope and Austin Theory was mocking him. I'd say big fan of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I think they are doing an excellent job as sort of mid-card heels. Great chat from both of them. They're both very good in the ring as well. I think big things for both of them. I know Austin Theory, people will say, oh yeah, he beat John Cena, nothing happened, and it's a fair point, but I like them both. I feel like they're building, they'll be big stars, both of them. They will be big stars. Got the Bailey, there was come out a couple of other bits, but storyline was going on. They won a tag team match at Bad Blood. Solo and Jacob against Roman and Cody. Cody says he's done with the bloodline, which is a fair point, because he probably should be done with the bloodline now, so he's not interested in any of that. Roman's going to come to the ring at the end of the thing to sign a contract or give his answer or whatever it is with Nick Aldis. Other stuff going on in the show. I thought the Nia, Bailey, Naomi, Tiffy bit was good. I'm looking forward to that tag team match. I thought that's good. A good way of deciding number one contender, makes the match more interesting than just a standard tag match between the four of them. But they're probably the four top women at the moment in SmackDown. Obviously tag team champions Jade and Bianca on both shows. And there's probably, I suspect, my prediction is Nia will beat whoever it is that she does face at Bad Blood, and then I suspect there'll be the return of the other queen of WWE, Charlotte Flair. She must be a minute. She's been injured for about 9 months, I think it is now. It was a bad injury. And then we got the final part in the Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. I say trilogy. It was not a trilogy. It was 5 matches. 4 matches they've had. Was this the decider? Carmelo wins. I don't think it was the strongest of their matches, but it was a good match, really good spots. They clearly have chemistry and they're both very good. I'm a big fan of Carmelo Hayes. I think another one, mid-level, mid-card heel at the moment, big future in WWE, alongside, talking about Waller and Theory as well. Whiz through that very quickly, but to the main event section, or the main event portion, whatever you want to call it, Roman Reigns comes out to his full music and pyro in the ring, and he finally says his first words since WrestleMania 40 on WWE TV. Speaking of his first words, if you have not seen, this is a Bloomberg, I don't know why I plug other YouTube videos on this that aren't mine, but there's a Bloomberg business conference about a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and Heyman and Roman Reigns are on it plugging WWE's Netflix deal. But it's really interesting how they chat about it. It's well worth seeing, and people can find it, just Bloomberg Roman Reigns Church, and you'll get it. But that was obviously Roman Reigns talking about first words on WWE TV. He says this is his ring, this is his WWE, and then the WWE champion Cody Rhodes comes out. Cody Rhodes says it was, but it hasn't been since WrestleMania 40. Cody puts the title down, Roman puts the mic down, starting to get a face off, and dun 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 dun. Solo Sikoa's music hits, comes out with Jacob Fatu. The Tonga lower, Tama Tonga comes out, gets another beating, fights them, beats them up, and all of that. Roman signs the contract, and then in true classic Hulk Hogan type babyface things, after saying he's done with all of that, not Hulk Hogan, that was an insult, I didn't mean that as an insult to Cody, but in classic babyface thing, Cody signs the thing, crowd goes wild, and we get a Roman Reigns match, and I suspect the main event, even though we've Drew, but it's an excellent show. I wish I was going to Atlanta, Georgia for this show, Bad Blood. So we've got Damian Priest and Finn Balor in a grudge match, which I think will be good. And I like what they're doing with Finn. I like what they did with Finn on Raw this week. We've got the next rematch between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. We've got Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, Hell in a Cell, and now we've got Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes against Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. So, and we'll have Nia Jax against Naomi or Bayley as well. And I suspect that will be the 5 matches that we get at Bad Blood. Again, probably another 5-match show, which they've been doing in between the bigger named PLEs, and I think they're doing brilliantly on that. So I think it's another thing. I think there's so many adverts on SmackDown for War Games that you might think is imminent, but I think there's Crown Jewel at the beginning of November, where I suspect Roman may wrestle again, because I feel like it's in their billion pound contract WWE with Saudi Arabia that they have their biggest names. I'm sure we'll see Logan Paul back because he's huge in Saudi Arabia as well. So we've got that, but Bad Blood is shaping up very nicely in, 2 weeks time? 3 weeks time. 3 weeks till Bad Blood. So we may see Roman Reigns on TV again. Yeah, I thought really good SmackDown. Best SmackDown since prior to WrestleMania, I think. SmackDown has, it's difficult when you take away Roman Reigns, who, despite many people arguing me, I think is the GOAT. He's definitely the GOAT of this generation anyway, but I think it's hard without him on there to try and make Cody's title matches feel meaningful. It's been a bit of a struggle, I think, with post SmackDown, and Raw's been so good. Raw's been the best it's been in years. I think Raw is probably now as good as it was in the Attitude Era. That's a long time ago. Raw has been this good in terms of the CM Punk stuff, Drew stuff, Wyatt 6, Liv, Rhea, Dom, all of that stuff, Judgment Day. I think Raw has made 3 hours go by really quickly. So I think it's the best SmackDown in a long while. It looks like Roman Reigns is back, at least in Roman Reigns' schedule time. I feel he's on the poster, as everyone pointed out, for War Games. So he's around. But he'll be at the Royal Rumble or in the Royal Rumble, who knows, in January, and then it's the lead up to WrestleMania. So I feel like Roman Reigns is back to a Roman Reigns schedule, which is not what people call part-time, it's whatever it is. He's back and he's around. But yeah, really good SmackDown. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Happy to have some discussion around that. What did you think? Pleased with the Bad Blood main event, which I assume is the main event because it's got Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in it. And yeah, and just generally, and what did you think of the new SmackDown logo, intro, and song? I'd say I do like Megan Thee Stallion, so I was a big fan of that. Okay, well, that is it for another episode of Stupendous Saturday. We're back. Who knows when we're back? Next time we get a big Raw or a SmackDown, or maybe a preview of Bad Blood. Right, take care of yourselves and acknowledge the only tribal chief.